dear God, be with us tonight. Help us, guide us, give us direction for the betterment of ourselves, the community, and you. Lay your hand on us, keep us and our loved ones, those close, coworkers, family, healing, and just love and peace. In your name, amen.
All right.
United
Sands.
One nation.
Indivisible. Liberty and justice for all. Check out form.
All right, good morning, good evening, feels like it.
It's one in days. Yeah.
I think I wish I was sleeping, that's just it. Please note, Mr. Cox is headed this way. He's delayed at this point, but will, at this time, opening the quorum, he will not be present. Ms. Cookenbook,
Present.
Mr. Phillips,
Here.
Mr. Booth,
Here.
Mr. Terman.
Here. That will take the approval of the agenda. If anybody have anything you want to add to it or delete.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Second. All right. All right.
All right, on the motion to approve the agenda as presented. Ms. Cookenbook.
Yeah.
Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
And Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Okay.
Next will be the approval of disbursements. Anybody got any questions? All
That's that.
right.
I'm gonna butcher this. Bursar office.
Mercer, that's Virginia Tech for the extension.
Oh, extension.
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't register that. For that dollar amount, I thought I had to ask.
Makes sense.
That was all I had, sir.
Anybody else have anything? I don't. If not, I'll take a motion to approve. So moved. Second. Motion second, call roll.
All right, on the motion to approve the disbursements as presented, Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Mr. Booth
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes. We move up to the approval of the minutes for 4/14/26, our regular meeting, and 4/15/26, our budget workshop. Everybody was here on all both of them.
Sorry.
Huh? You want to take them together?
I think we can.
Okay. Anybody have any corrections or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All right, on the motion to approve the minutes from 4/14/26, regular board meeting, and 4/15/2026, a budget workshop. Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
And Mr. Terman.
Yes.
All right.
With that, I'll open up our public hearing on our 6-year rate plan. You want, Dave?
Evening. This is the annual public hearing for the annual update of the secondary road 6-year plan. These are roads number 600 about basically everything except Route 8 and 21. Secondary roads. Board sets the priorities, passes a resolution with 4 priority list. VDOT will then basically go through that in priority order. We may have to change the order, or we may work on one that's harder than, or one that's easier than another. Not all right of ways, it's easy to get on some. But generally follow the order that the board presents with us. What I handed you out is last year's adopted resolution, priority list and plan. And in the, I can't remember if it was in January or when it was, the board voted to add Hope Road, the last part of Hope Road. Because we pretty much have everything done with that, but we couldn't pave it due to some environmental stormwater issues. So that's why I focused on the last year's plan. What I have given you is a draft plan. That's just draft. This is just for presentation, just something to work off of. Where I put Hope Road in the top spot, and then basically everything else is the same as what was passed last year, with the exception of what was on number 10 last year, Firehouse Road. That is, I took that off because it's getting ready to start being built right now. It's got a completion date of September. And then I also have given you the draft secondary road construction budget for just the next fiscal year. So your allocation for next fiscal year is $1,002,862. That's split into two types of funding. Bulk of that is got to be on unpaved roads, and it's got to be on an unpaved road with a traffic count of 50 vehicles a day or more. The other source of funding is the telecommunication fee that the state collects from utilities and telecommunication companies that locate their lines on the right of way. That fee is then split up among all the counties in the state on a percent population base. So that can be used anywhere. The unpaved road fund has to be used on those unpaved roads of 50 vehicles a day or more. Telecommunication fee could be used on a paved road. It's not a lot of money, so we generally just put it in with all the unpaved road money and just try to get those done as quick as possible. But if something comes up during the year where we could use some improvement that would be maybe a little bit more than maintenance would allow, we could use telecommunication fee funding for something like that. With that 1 million, the distribution is fairly simple, since we're trying to build up some road, some money for some others. Hope, well, that countywide incidental, I put just 30,000 on that. Anything that's not maintenance has to be charged to construction, and they draw a pretty hard line between maintenance and construction. We're not allowed to use maintenance money for what would be deemed construction. There's gray area, but any kind of paving an unpaved road, or anything new, if you're fixing something that was already there, even replacing something that was already there, that can be considered maintenance. But it's something brand new, and signs are brand new. If there's never a sign there, and we're to put a sign up, if there's never any guardrail in a spot and we put new guardrail up, all that would have to be construction. If you're replacing, damaged guardrail or damaged sign or anything like that, that's considered maintenance. At any rate, that's what the 30,000 is for. 250, I think we'll finish up Hope Road, and then we'll put the rest of it on the next one, the 6-year plan, which is Century. So I'll go ahead and read the draft plan, the whole list of roads. The board can then take comments, and then no action is required from the board tonight. I would like a resolution either adopting the plan as presented tonight, or you can change things around if you want. You really can't add any more to this list because it would be kind of pointless. It's already well beyond the 6 years of funding.
Yeah.
So,
Unless you knock one off, we'll put another in this bottom.
Yeah. Or if you got another one in mind that you want to take one of these off, that's fine too. Hope Road, Hope and Sunny Ridge should not be changed just because we've already spent some money on both of those. So, but the rest are basically anything we've spent on it, and we have spent a little bit of survey, it's been, charged that incidental construction. So we've looked at Ponderosa, we've looked at some of the right of way in Ponderosa, talked with others, just to see, kind of what we're dealing with. So anyway, with that, I'll just go through the draft plan. That's just being presented to something to work on. Number one, Hope Road, the remaining section, I believe it's about a quarter, 3/10 maybe, something like that. We've got the right of way for that, we just finished drainage work. Next is Sunny Ridge, number two. Number three is a spot on, it's really just a spot, that we had looked at doing where it gets, pretty muddy during times of, logging and stuff like that, because there's that one. So the intersection of Merrifield and Deer Valley is something we thought about. We haven't even looked at, what we could do. Maybe time to start doing that, looking at that. But I was thinking of just paving that intersection so that it gets so bogged down in mud. It wouldn't be a great distance either way in that intersection, but it would help out, with turning movements and things like that there. Number four, Ponderosa. Number five, Chestnut Creek Lane. Number six, Old Mill Road. 7, Ferny Creek. 8, Reedsville. 9, Bluebird. 10, Indian Springs Road. 11, Emmanuel Road. 12, DeHart. 13, Sandy Flats, and 14, Pine Forest. That was what was passed, basically what was passed last time. We'll look up to that. And, like I said, we're working now. Hear comments from the public tonight or in the next month or so, that, however you choose to get comments, then we'll make a decision on what they're on your list. For resolution either in May or June. It could be late June. I do need it before the end of this fiscal year. That's will be sent to our central office of Richmond. No one other questions about what I presented, I'll step aside and let public comment.
With your comment, I guess right now, and then see what comes up.
Okay.
With that, I'll open up to public comment period. It is the intent that all people attending the meeting of the board, regardless of handicap and conditions, shall have an opportunity to participate. If any person present requires any special assistance, please let the board know in order that arrangements can be made. Speakers are limited to 4 minutes. Sharing or giving away unused time is not permitted. The board does not respond to questions or comments made by the speaker during the public comment time. So if you got a comment,
So if I may, I want to, if it's okay with you, I want to make sure everybody knew if they wanted to speak. May I just find out
Go ahead.
that they were did everyone who wanted to speak during the public hearing portion, did they know to sign up? Okay.
Would you like to?
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Mark Allen. Anybody else?
this would just be on a 6-year road.
That is correct.
Okay, so we have 2 speakers. The first is Gary Lennon from the Locust Grove District.
The man with good timing.
My name's Gary Lennon. My wife and I are at 748 Sowers Road. For those who don't know where Sowers Road is, we're on the very north edge of the county. It's actually Route 705. The whole paved road is only about 1.7 miles from Christiansburg Pike. Goes around Laurel Creek and then it turns into a gravel road all the way down to Thunderstruck by the creek. And we're about 1.25 miles down the road, and it's playing dodge the pothole to get there.
You're in the Little River District.
Okay.
No.
I didn't even know, but yeah. I believe with whomever, I've got 17 pictures on here of problems with the road. I don't need this back. There's just 17 JPEGs.
Thank
Some of them are I would say at least 4 of them are tire killers, if you, especially if it's raining and you forget that that's one of the deep ones. They were patched, some of them were patched in the last 2 or 3 years, and I think of all the ones that were patched, only one still has a patch in it. The patches have come out and it's a mess, and I also noticed it's not on his list. Short Road, we'll see. If we can get it on the list, we'd appreciate it, even if we can just get some of the deeper ones patched with some method that I'm keeping there.
Yeah, he came in when I was in here and David's already been made aware of this and they're supposed to send somebody down there to look at it.
Appreciate it. Well, pass him on pictures, we'll see, but appreciate some help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, indeed. I mean, you think so. You know who else lives on Cyrus Road?
Next we have Mark Allen from the Little River.
Yeah, I think he might be in New Orleans.
My name is Mark Allen. I live at 882 Candy School Road. And I'm here to get Candy School Road in the mix to look forward to getting some paving done over there. The unpaved section is about 1.8 miles. There's 14 or 15 residences on it. The mail route, bus route. There's about half a mile of it, which was moved about 35 or 40 years ago, and at that time it was left in decent condition to be paved. Of course, it's deteriorated a great deal, and Candy School is either a cloud of dust or a bunch of slop. There's actually 1.5 days in between, but that's there's some a few spots on it that over a period of wet weather, which we haven't had for a while, just get to be a mud hole and sink in. And there's one spot up on the hill towards Matthew Allen, and I think there must be a spring in there, or there's a culvert needs to be there because it's a sunken spot, and they put some gravel in it, and it devours it and sinks down again. But I would love to see some work done on the road, paving if possible, or preparation for paving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
Speakers.
Alrighty, with that, I will adjourn the public hearing for it.
So I did take notes on both of those, Candy School Road request, and then the Sour Road is mostly for some maintenance, with maintenance on the potholes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Excuse me, that, we only do the paved part. There's like 3.5 miles of
Oh, yeah.
paved. I don't know their opinions, but that's why I don't speak to them.
You know, I brought that to you one time, it's been a year or so ago, about when you come off Christiansburg Pike, you start up. When you get up there, it's curve upside of whatever that creek is.
Mhm.
You know, there's no shoulder there,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, that's something. Maybe looked at later on.
Yeah, we'll have to put those, yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna be continuing to patch. They've been concentrating mostly on the roads that are on the overlay schedule, but that will be branching off to the others. And if there's any other, like, I mean, we trying to get as many of the gravel roads as possible also lately, but if you have any like particular ones that you'd like,
Yeah.
first, we're gonna try to get to those when now the paving schedule has started in other counties. I think the Plant Mix and Giles has already started, but working in I think in Patrick and maybe in Henry. So the contractors will be moving in here sometime soon, so.
Don't forget, we had talked about retopping Robertson Hill Road where they did the patching with the motor grader.
Yeah.
If we can, you know, I know you've got a certain amount of money and there may be roads in worse shape, but I doubt it, but.
And I would be remiss in not mentioning 221
Yeah.
at the county line.
From county line to county line.
County line.
It is fun.
There are a couple sections in there that.
Yeah, there's.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting rugged.
So another thing, I think y'all told me there last year that y'all were gonna try to service Street 787 that's upcoming 2027. It'd be nice if y'all could do that for this upcoming year.
I'll look into, I don't have that list with me,
Okay,
but I'll probably get that to you as soon as I can.
okay.
I know you'd sent me some gravel road requests. Is there any in particular that?
Merrickville,
Yeah, Merrifield was one.
Pulaski Road out there need to be graded up there, rough stuff down. Out there next to the, what is it, on Deepwater, the shale pit. Right down through there is, on the gravel into Max Mountain is, really, really rough. And Berry Creek.
And you've got my list.
Yeah.
We could just about pick any road in the county.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's the ones that they've called in, on here just
It's-
a little bit.
It's like a wacky mower board.
And I think I mentioned the last meeting also, those same ones.
Yeah, Beaver, Mags, Oldville, area headquarters about, you'd mentioned Sumter and Rocky Hill also.
Yeah.
in Fairfield. As far as the gravel roads go. Middle section of Horse Ridge, probably some patching also. So.
I think it pretty much patched most of Horse Ridge. I mean, I was out through there the other day and it wasn't too awful bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's bad, but not as bad as it was.
All right, we'll try to get those on the, now that they've finished up the overlay routes done. Get some of those.
Well, and you mentioned the 50 per day limit. Any of these roads on here that doesn't hit that, they get kicked out, so.
Yeah.
I just want everybody to know
Yes.
that, so.
And we'll try to do another count if it's close, you know, we can get the counters out.
Right.
Um,
Let me know when you can.
well, I know.
I'll help you out all I can. I'll spread the burden.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a voicemail on my
And
phone.
that's a cut through road. I'm surprised it doesn't have the traffic.
Yeah.
Because you and I drove down that.
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
they
well,
won't-
Bear Ridge, we tried to get Bear Ridge.
Yeah.
We tried to get Bear Ridge on there and it doesn't. have it up.
Yeah, Bear
I
Ridge.
think, well, I think the problem with Bear Ridge is people go opposite ways.
Right.
They all had to go one way out. I'm pretty sure it would have it.
Yep.
Anyway.
Well, at FACO, I'm working with the Transportation Committee to try and work with VDOT to either lessen, the Department of Transportation is they want all gravel road, unserviced road service. So they're gonna have to relax some of the regulations to meet that,
Yeah.
so. Just so you'll know, I've been working with the Transportation Committee and we're trying to get something accomplished there with getting that number lowered or.
Well, there's that, there's also, they've got a new, standard or new, I won't say regulation, but they've now allowed us to use some of this secondary road construction money on an unpaved road to do some work that would be less than full-fledged paving. Which would help because that drainage is a big deal when you start paving, because now you got impervious surface and you go worry about that. And, you know, a lot of people move out to a county like Floyd, so, you know, they don't have all that traffic like that through and stuff like that, but they would like, you know,
Yeah.
some work done to it, which is a little bit more than we can do with maintenance. So maybe we'll look at some roads, because you get, $1 million a year is
Nothing.
well, it's 5 times more than Pulaski gets.
Seriously?
They get 200 and some thousand. Yeah, it's maybe not, it's over 4 times. May not be 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Maybe that means all their roads is already fixed.
yeah, they don't have a whole lot to choose from yet.
Well.
And the easy one's
see.
been done, so, you know, which is a catch-22 because,
Mhm.
you know, the only ones left are the hard ones and they cost the most. Anyway, same thing with Giles. Giles and Pulaski are both in the 200 and something.
So what you're saying is, as our gravel road to get surface treated, our cost is gonna come down.
Yeah, yeah,
That's all.
yeah, the allocation will go down, yeah. I don't think it's gonna be much. You got a lot to it. There's 300 miles.
Yeah. Most,
Even in the next 10 years, you can knock that down to 290, it's still a lot.
yeah, it's been said we have the most unpaved road in the state.
Probably per square mile. I mean, Carroll is huge, so and it has a lot. And,
Yeah.
you know, Augusta and some of those little Pennsylvania might have a lot. I don't know. But definitely per square mile, I think you do. All right. If there's nothing else, thank you very much.
Thank you.
2 weeks.
Yep.
Thank you. Have a good-
Hi, Dave. Thanks for coming out.
Alrighty. I guess it'd be Mike's turn.
Everybody bringing up their
Yep.
sheets here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to bring you up to date on what the PSA is doing with respect to some grants. We were working on about 6 weeks ago, we were working on a new CDS application, congressionally directed spending. It kind of, got rid of earmarks, and now the CDS program, I guess, has taken over for the earmarks for the grant program. And there's a whole lot of issues going on with that. But anyway, as you know, we desperately need new water wells. We recently had a problem with well number 5, and it's going to be shut down pending a fracture. We're going to try to fracture it. We also had a pump in it go bad, and with the cost of the pump and its poor performance over the past year or so, it's down to 13 gallons a day. So it's almost worth not working on, but I think we're probably going to end up trying to fracture it to get it back online. But if not, then we're going to be limited to 4 water wells, 1, 2, and 3, and number 6 in the Commerce Park. So we desperately need a new water well somewhere in town. And so we applied for a CDS grant, and as you can see, the grant deadline was about 4 weeks ago. And we projected the cost at $690,000 for 1 water well. I know it's a lot of money when you think about a homeowner just drilling a well and then what the PSA needs, but our requirements are a lot more stringent than a regular homeowner. Not only do we have to use a bigger well casing when we go down, we've got a whole lot of other requirements, and then we've got to run a line to hook into our system. And running a water line these days can be anywhere from $50 to $100 a foot. So those feet add up when you're trying to go down the road or somewhere to get into our system. So there's a match that was required at 20% or $140,000. The county went in, or excuse me, the town of Floyd went in with us, the PSA, on this grant. We tried to get to you guys, but the timing was a disaster. These grants come and go so fast, and we were just informed of the cutoff date, which was Monday morning at 9 o'clock, which is ridiculous. And so we didn't get a chance to get to you guys, but I did have an appointment with town council, and we talked about it, and they decided to go in with this since the match was only $140,000. We felt between the PSA, the town council, we can both do that. Well, we'd like for you guys, though, as a letter of support, if that would be great, and Ladina's got some of the standard format for it, a template for it in the past. So if you could help us out with that, that'd be great. We'd send it on. We haven't heard anything to date about the grant, the status of the grant. I'm hoping that, maybe sometime by June, we'll hear, and then we'll be able to see. There is a lot of competition for these grants, as we know. Tim Kane was just here talking about that. And so we can just keep our fingers crossed. The good thing is you can go from year to year. So if we miss this year, we'll apply next year. Just keep on applying and hopefully make it on the list.
This year, you've got 3 of us going for the same one.
Could be.
The town is, the PSA and the county has one for it.
Yeah.
But
But the-
my understanding.
Yeah, but the way I understand it is, the grants are structured towards the agency that you're asking the money from. And that's why there's some different requirements from each agency. And so we have applied to the SRF grants, which is the state resources for water.
Okay.
And so, you guys may have applied for a grant too, but I'm pretty sure it would have been a water grant. And the town has probably applied for another agency for another grant. So I don't know if they aggregate them or how they handle them, with respect to how much each agency is getting. And from what I understand, I was talking to the BDH guys the other day. They actually, as each agency gets its grants allocation per year, the CDS grants come off the top because they're kind of higher priority since they used to be earmarked.
Right.
So, depending upon how many applications that agency had, like take for instance, the water people, they may be able to handle a lot more CDS applications than regular applications. So who knows what the formula is or whatever. So I'm hoping that, yes, you're right, with the three applications that we'll see, but you don't know unless you try. You just got to keep trying. Gotta keep going for it. So we'll do that. So
Wheel gets the grease.
right. So anyway, yeah. All right, thank you. So if you could get us a letter of support, we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And y'all have some format letters to.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can go work on that.
We don't need it now.
maybe for every day.
I can send something over too if you want.
Yeah, if you would.
Yeah, it's plenty.
Okay, great.
Templates.
Thank
So yeah, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Bye, Mike.
Constitutional officers. So we can go on down to old business.
All right. I'm sorry.
On B, we probably ought to wait for
Yeah.
Cox to
Oh,
get home, get here. Which is like the second phone.
Go ahead, 10A. 11A, that would be. At the last board meeting, in error, we put an incorrect term of a 4-year term for the appointment to the EDA board, Elizabeth Hickson. She was taking over an existing term of a board member who resigned from the spot. So we just want to clean it up and ask that we reappoint for the correct term. So we might have to. Second. All right. All right, on the motion to update the term for Elizabeth Hickson, appointed to the EDA board from 4/1/26 to 12/10/27, Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Walters.
Yeah.
Walter Phillips, sorry, and Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Gonna need 10 minutes to take a nap. And if I heard correctly, we'd like to wait for,
Since he's on.
Yeah.
yeah, Mr. Cox, we could just postpone it, okay?
Yes.
We go to the new business. So part of the compensation board, budget, whew, that was a good one. Compensation board budget, they had tentatively, not officially approved what they considered the caboose bill, which was a possibility that was approved in their budget of a 2% bonus on the compensation board employee salaries. And in it, it also had that they would do a final approval around this time. Well, they did. And they did approve it. So, I believe in your packet, Jenny, put the letter that everybody received. We've already done, all the calculations to be prepared, but it's to put in front of you how you would like to move forward.
Amanda's in there, right? There she
If I'm reading this right, the 2% is based on the salary as of June 1.
Yes, yes, sir.
Not, not after adjustments.
No, it would be within this fiscal year and what the salary is present. And also noting that this one time has nothing to do with ongoing salary. It doesn't add to, it has nothing to do that. It's just a one-time bonus on what the present salary is as of June 1st.
Thanks.
But
They
they're-
make that very specific in here. That's what.
Withholding cost, and it does apply
Taxes?
tax wise.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, tax wise, yes, not benefits. So,
So all comp board people will be getting this 2% salary bonus from the state, but all comp board.
if the Board of Supervisors approve it and we submit the documentation that we will be able to do this, then yes. This is the first time I do have to note because they send a bunch of attachments and quite archaic spreadsheet on how to obtain everything. This is the first time. It did not happen last time. But this is the first time that the comp board is actually adding additional monies to assist for the FICA fees that the county incurs.
Mhm.
Last time it did not. It was just that one salary. So we kind of ate the FICA, so to speak. So this time they added to the funds of reimbursement if approved, FICA that has nothing to do with.
This 2% doesn't play into the proposed raise or the salaries. For
No, sir.
No way, shape, or
No way, shape, or form.
And wait,
I'm afraid it's official and it's somewhere, but I haven't found it.
well, I know what it is.
But
I mean,
I think we need to go ahead and do it. I mean,
but if we give the compensation board members of our staffs, this is just comp board.
I know. And it's a one-time bonus.
So anybody
From
who's
the
lucky
state.
enough to be a comp board employee gets it. And those who aren't, don't.
Don't. But we didn't set the rules.
In the past, however, when something like this has come down, we tend to, don't.
In the past, we used the same thought process as being consistent with best practice. If you're a compensation board within that department, fully funded county employees would get an average percentage that would be close to equal what a 2% on their compensation board salary would be.
All county employees,
So we did in the past.
county employees.
Well, I'm just telling you for that, and then the last time we did the 2% for county employees, 2% comp salary on the comp salary, and then the departmental average of what that 2% would be, if that makes sense.
But that was on their salaries. This is a different.
It's both.
Different animal.
Oh, it's both, yeah,
No, there's a bonus. There's a one-time bonus.
right?
This isn't their salaries.
No,
So what you're saying is that other employees that aren't comp board funded
In these departments.
in those departments would get an average.
correct. That would be, yes, that would,
Understood.
yep.
But it's still money that comes unfunded from us.
Mhm.
That was my question. Does it come from us or the state?
Well,
Well,
the
for-
comp board does.
The comp board, the comp board pays for the comp board employees. But if there's county paid employees in that department, then we pick that up if we match what they're doing for everybody else. Is that a fair way to put it?
What would that amount to from the county though? On average?
What, 2%? Hold on.
For the,
Well, the
for the non-comp employee?
Yeah. Just a rough estimate of what it would cost the county.
Not to be the beauty of this one, since we had started the budget process, we were already in that mode with these same numbers. So, sorry
600,000, something like that.
for the bonus.
For a bonus. Less?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And this was not figured into the budget.
Nobody knew it was coming.
This is one of the things that state goes in here, so I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
At least they pretty much got out of starting pay increases in December.
Yeah.
If you figure that for this year, well, then next year you're that much in the hole you gotta come up with.
Yeah.
14.
Hmm.
14. And
We was pretty close on the budget anyway, correct?
We'll probably talk about that a little bit more. We'll talk a little bit about that on Station Day.
I think we're.
With some of the other.
there it is. That was easy. So
Oh,
it's about here. No, but that's a full salary. Right. It's about like 90. No, it can't be. No, that's not accurate. It's 52 and hold please.
a little less than 55,000, give or take.
Yeah. 52 and there we go.
And that's
52. Yeah, it's about just under 60. Give or take, because you're gonna get, and that's not including the reimbursement of the FICA. So that would go down. That would reimburse some of that cost.
So what you're saying. Yeah, since it's not all county employees, it's hard for me. Cause it's not gonna be all county employees.
What do you mean?
When do you have to know about all this for us to vote on?
We have to start engaging with the comp board. That we have until. I'm trying to think what our schedule is going to be, so we can calculate it, get it in, and we have like at least till the first meeting in May, I guess. And
But
do I have
it won't
last
be,
year's?
well, I mean, is that 55,000 every single employee of the entire county?
No. That's just that one department or one. Let's see, is it one department or two departments that's got county paid employees?
Yeah, open it.
Sheriff's Department's a biggie.
Yeah.
Or we've got county paid employees in there.
So
But that number you gave out was for that department and.
right.
Is there one more?
So it's 21, 5, and 15. So that's 36,000 for that one department.
Right.
Then
we got the other department.
So the other departments total Well, so 2% on coin salary for all comp board salaried employees in the county come to $38,816.
You're only talking about those departments, we're not talking about our employees.
Correct,
So I'm
so,
getting that.
So,
so ours is 52. Huh?
It's the one in July.
No, it wasn't.
Ours is what?
In July of, so last year it was total was $66,669. And that was 1 point and 14 cents if you want to, but that was a 1.5 or 1.7. I could get that.
This,
One-time bonus, yes.
1.5.
I think it was, yes.
That was for
That was for the total
That was total comp and count.
comp and county. So,
that's what we did last year.
But that wasn't,
I'm sorry,
In July.
but that was just for those departments, that wasn't.
No,
no, that was for the entire county.
County.
Yes.
yeah, cause we had this discussion then.
It was the
that
1.5. So it was, so here is 2135, and then we have 35, and it's about 84,000. That's
For
what
everybody.
for everybody.
I mean, I can't see just doing it
For one,
and not the entire, I mean, I'm sorry, I just,
it's come back to me, I remember that.
yeah, we had this discussion.
I think if we either don't do it at all,
Right.
or we do it for everybody.
And if I don't submit it and I tell them that, and there are counties, I had conversations last year with 2 counties that
Yeah,
couldn't do
turned
it,
back.
didn't do it,
Yeah,
so that is an opportunity if the board feels that they're not, at this time. But we ended up doing it last year, and like I said, it was 66,000, it's about a 0.5, like you said, difference.
right.
But the difference this year, no pun intended, is that, and I could get you the total, it's not a grand total on a,
With people we got working for us, we need to do all we can for them, make sure they stay here.
Yep.
I feel like they earn every penny of it. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion that we do it for all county paid employees.
2% one time,
Sometime bonus,
or an average,
or what it,
average
the average.
okay.
of the,
Just how it was done last year, you would like me to do it the same concept this year, okay.
The only difference is it's the 1.5 and the.
Correct, whatever the comp, yeah, because that was what the comp board did in there, okay.
I'll second. I just can't, I can't in good conscience, correct, I can't in good conscience do that. I don't
And-
like being forced to do.
And authorize the movement from contingency to cover it.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Do it all in one, that way it's clean and done.
Great, thank you very much.
That
May
ain't running.
I make one comment? Is that okay?
Yes.
In the event, after review of the current budget and kind of forecasting, if a department can absorb that 2%, not, then can we make that decision to not pull it from contingency, let the department absorb that amount? And then anybody who could not do that, or they're too close to the line in their salaries, we'll pull it from
That's
contingency.
in your wheelhouse.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
As far as I'm
Okay,
concerned. We're authorizing to, if you need to, take
Perfect.
it out of contingency,
thank you. Should like that money too.
but if their department can absorb it, don't worry about it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Or that's my opinion anyway.
I got a motion and a second.
Okay. On a motion to move forward with the fiscal year 26 original compensation board caboose bill, the 2% bonus on comp board funded salaries and the percentage as we did last year. Moving forward with utilizing the monies as necessary budgetarily. Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cook and Book,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
No.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Okay.
And we need to be sure that, I don't know if you need to, you left it off, but to use from contingency if necessary,
Yeah, I kind of,
make sure that.
the contingency, yes, I kind of use budgetary, but you're right. Thank you. Yep. Thanks, Jake. Okay.
With that, we'll move down to our public comment period. It's the intent that all people attending the meeting of the board, regardless of handicap and conditions, shall have an opportunity to participate. If any person present requires any special assistance, please let the board know in order that the arrangements can be made. Speakers are limited 4 minutes. Sharing or giving away unused time is not permitted, and the board does not respond to questions or comments made by the speaker during the public comment period.
There are no speakers signed up for public.
You got anything else?
I just like hearing you read.
Yeah, well, legally I had to, so. So if that's the case, I'll close the public comment period, yeah.
Guess we'll take a break.
Yeah. We don't have
Sir?
Said it would have been at least an hour.
Supervisor Cox said that he should be here in a minute.
So maybe
We could take a break.
Yeah.
a bit.
there you go.
I never been known to turn a break down.
Okay.
We're back in session.
Hey, Joe, if we can, excuse me, Chairman, if we can, 11, B, we moved forward, waiting for Mr. Cox to, arrive.
I'm here now.
Thank you.
I apologize for my delay.
And so please note that Mr. Cox has attended the meeting, 7:12.
BG is on that committee.
Yeah, so what do you got for us?
Ready? Okay, so on, I received a, call from the town manager, Andrew, discussing that, after the charter discussion, 4 years, 1 year, they would, he would like to know if he could send some suggestions about, we've had discussions about an MOU. Nothing, we had to get through the charter first. And since we did that, so now, I didn't know how you would, since it was presented to me, nothing in stone, haven't met about it, it's just kind of out there. How you would like for me to move forward. So some of the things that I thought can meet with the town manager. However, last meeting discussed, putting, Ms. Cookenbook and Mr. Cox on the negotiation team. Regarding this, if you'd like me to meet with them to come up with, and we've already had, various conversations of MOU, and once do that, of course, send it to Steve. But it's how you would like me to direct, move forward, and take action.
So can I have clarification? Do you have items that you could discuss with Levi and myself from the town council?
I have a few suggestions, but the intent was to conversate because I wanted direction first before we continue to move forward. I do have some suggestions, and then wanted to possibly meet with the town manager to see if there's more or how to move forward, and then meet with you guys or not.
So, let me understand. This means that the town council did not want to negotiate with Mr. Cox and myself?
That's not what that means
Okay,
at all. No.
okay,
Actually, the intent was to kind of, the town manager and I, kind of the intent was, they initiated it, kind of lay it out a little bit, just get some movement in the background to have presentation for negotiations, because sometimes when you come to negotiations and you both are not defined, or, we don't get anywhere. So we're
Okay.
just trying to lay some or think an option would be to lay some foundation to get to a point to send it to Steve, however we want to navigate that.
Yep.
And if you want to move forward at all. So really the intent was to kind of organize it first, or organize two sides, make one, bring it, discuss it more, and then go from there.
yeah.
Does
If
that?
we were playing tennis or volleyball,
Mm-hmm.
is it back in our court? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Okay.
So I said I would present it and ask what kind of action you would like me to take. Not
So,
how do you want me to move forward? Do you want?
So it's back in our court for us to say, yes, Kim, we want you to go to Andrew, and you and Andrew knock out some points,
Mhm,
then bring it back to me and Levi,
correct,
and then we look over what was discussed
correct.
and come back with either meeting with the town council or sending it to Steve
Correct.
or whatever the case may be.
Bring it back to us.
Or bring it back to you
Mhm.
before we send to Steve, or
Yeah, I mean, generally, we would bring it back for all of us.
absolutely, and then of course want Steve to look it over.
Right.
But right now, there,
But should we go? All, me, you, and Kim?
well, you see, that's what they're saying. They think that's not a good idea. So I still don't, I mean, we're not talking about the town council, we're just talking about the two negotiators from the county and the two negotiators from the town and the two respective
who was that from the town that's doing their talking?
The mayor,
Will and
And
Chris.
it's my-
and vice council.
But would
It-
it be, would
it
it be
had-
possible for just us to meet and talk and then come back and discuss with the rest of our board?
Yeah, I mean, I see no reason why not.
That's why I'm bringing it to you guys.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Again, the intent was just because I think we've done it kind of, we were just trying to brainstorm and come up with a solution
Right.
to expedite with clarity, less, personal or whatever lane individuals are in. And to be able to just present something in a professional manner. So there's movement, whether the movement is no, or whether the movement is,
I mean, I'll show up in the same room and just stare at each other for a few minutes. But
or
I feel like I
reiterate.
would like to just be there in person, but that's just how
It's an action item,
great.
and that could be an option too.
Any of your thoughts? I mean, if we go and sit in the background and listen to Kim and Andrew talk, and whether or not Will and Chris come or not, I mean, be interesting to just
Well,
hear.
Yeah, I think from where I'm sitting and been sitting, this MOU is basically gonna say one thing is the most important. When you cut out all the legalese and all that. Town's gonna put up, they're gonna willing to do what they can when they can, if they can. The county's obligation is to cover whatever they don't. That's basically what's being looked for
In an MOU.
in the MOU.
So why do we even need an MOU?
Well.
So that's part of why getting in front of it to see and then bringing it back and saying,
From where I'm sitting,
what are you gonna negotiate?
there's one thing that needs to be in the MOU. For my, this is just me. Because this can't be set up as an open season for PSA to start doing capital projects. I think however you word it, PSA on a capital project, they're gonna have to get an estimate. And I'm not talking about hiring a firm, and I mean, Matt's perfectly capable. Get a rough estimate of the cost of whatever projects they're proposing to do. The first one, whatever it is. That go to the town look at it and they say, all right, we can do this or we can do nothing. Then it comes to this board with that added to the information. And whoever's sitting at this table, whether it's now, next year, 10 years from now, whenever, whoever's sitting here is gonna have to look at it and say, all right, is this something we can pay for, or are we gonna have to take a note out? Or can this board feel comfortable that it's even gonna be done at that time?
You've got ahead of me. Yeah, we was trying to figure out who was gonna meet with who and when.
Yeah, we are.
What I was thinking was, that, I think you and
Andrew.
Andy should meet together and talk. And then you can come back and get with Linda and Levi and give me your points. And then y'all can figure out, and then them two can go back and meet with their two counterparts and sit down and talk and see what they can come up with, and then bring it back to the board.
And I'm okay with that, but are we just going on what they presented, or are we gonna have something for them to talk about from our side?
That's what they gotta come up with their meetings.
Well, I mean, I have the original notes. I mean, right, that,
For me,
Y'all two are the negotiators. What, I
but
want to hear from y'all.
in your scenario, and I'm not gonna get us too far afield, Mr. Chairman, but from your scenario, the PSA can come and present a capital improvement project they want to work on today. They don't need an MOU. They can come in and say, we need to drill a well. And it's gonna cost us $650,000 to drill a well. We're trying to get a grant. If we get that grant, we can drill another well. But this is what we need to help solidify the system. Town, what can you do? Town can do X. County, can you foot the rest of the bill? I have a problem with developing an MOU that puts this board and any future board on a hook, as you like to say, Mr. Booth, to have to fund things. Now, I don't mind putting a line item in our budget, as we've discussed, that accrues for such capital improvements. But this MOU seems very interesting. I mean, I guess I understand your point, Levi, but it obviously seems from me looking in that other than you and me, they want Kim and Andrew to sit down and hash it out.
No, I don't think that's accurate. And if I depicted it,
They didn't like me.
I will try. I mean, again, we had a discussion to kind of just like not get everybody out of the way, but a lot of emotion, a lot of this up and down. There's PSA involved and everything else, and just try to like sit down and just kind of come up with some things to be able to present. They were willing to do that, and also some of the discussions, from what I understand, change their original I don't want to use the word demands, their original stance. I'm sorry.
Request.
Request. So it has come down a little, or a lot, I don't have 100% details, but the willingness just to kind of, let's just step back. And if you guys don't want to step back, that's fine. But they're just like, I think actually this is more, I think that was the other side, and they're not there with this willingness of just to kind of step back. Let's just revisit this in a different frame, because it hasn't been working. We're all kind of, not that you guys are, but we're practicing the same thing, expecting different results, and we're not. I think a big change was, you guys going, you know what, you guys negotiate, and they all, I think it was heard, I really do. And they just want to step back and say, okay. I did not feel, and I would tell you, I mean, I sat there and I did not get the feeling or intent that this was backing up or another stance. It was kind of like, okay, let's just do something different, get this out there, see what they could come up, present it to the boards, and move forward or not, or but kind of just getting a new foundation.
Sounds to me like the three of y'all need to sit down and chat over what you discussed with them, and then make a
Well,
decision.
I had a small the possibility of Andrew and I to meet to really get into more of it would be after speaking to you guys, if that's how you would like me to move forward.
Be good if the three of y'all sit down and talk.
I'm like, I have no emotions on any of this, so I'm perfectly fine for me and you and Linda to get to meet with the town manager and the mayor and the chair or whatever. But that's just my feel. I feel like
That's right.
and can handle things better if I'm just with everybody and we can just talk about it.
Mhm.
But I don't enjoy so much the like back and forth without everybody being here, if that makes any sense.
When you get everybody in the room like we've been doing, we don't accomplish nothing. We end up going round and round and talking about the same subject over and over, and we come out no better off than what we was when we go in. That's the reason, if you could eliminate a few of the people, and discuss it, let them bring it back to the boards and let us discuss it. I believe we get along a lot better.
Yeah, I would promote me and Linda and you going and then hearing, talking and hearing, and then we come back and discuss it amongst ourselves.
Okay, I can tell them that, that's what you guys, it's an action item, so you. That's,
You know, whether they have come, but, yeah, Levi and I can sit there and listen.
We put the ball.
Figure out what we got going on.
Yeah,
so the intent of the meeting would be to discuss what they and what you would like on
Yeah.
the MOU.
or just,
If, or how to move forward with one.
Yeah.
right, or
Just ideas, and we can then come back, and we're not gonna settle anything and approve anything at that meeting, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk.
You don't get to.
They're gonna talk there.
General ideas of what everybody wants.
And they might follow us, schedule a follow-up if we need to, but.
Yep.
If you're okay.
I'm fine with that.
Okay,
Y'all set it up.
just find a date that works.
All right, are y'all okay?
Right,
with
yeah.
the Thing I brought up being discussed? Well,
Capital improvement,
well,
Todd.
Yeah, man, I think.
they have to get an estimate, go to the town, then come to the county.
Yeah.
Then whoever's sitting at this table, look at it. First of all, you're gonna have to decide at that given time, I mean, heaven forbid something happens to a school and we're in building a $45 million school. You know,
Yeah.
I think there has to be, the board has the chance to.
Right,
look
but I
at
don't
it.
think we're not gonna go in settling something right then.
No,
Yeah,
no, but I'm talking about as far as discuss,
Oh, yeah.
you know, she's got stuff from them to discuss. I don't know what you've got from us, but I just think that should be part of the discussion, that there has to be some kind of, it's just not open season.
Yeah.
So do you feel like the MOU is going to be open season if it doesn't have those
Well,
kinds
the
of?
MOU right now, this is and I've said this, and this is no disparaging mark at anybody. As long as the majority of the people sit on this board that agreed to the MOU and the majority of the people are on town council agreed to the MOU is gonna be followed. And right now, if we sign in the MOU tomorrow, there's 3 of you up next year.
Mhm.
And I don't even know if you plan on running. But so let's say something happened and you 3 were defeated. Well, we could have 3 new people sitting here and it doesn't matter what Walter and I think. If those 3 people come in and said, no, we're not doing this anymore, it's out the window. Because the MOU doesn't really hook anybody. It's a memorandum of understanding, but until this board appropriates funds for a project, nothing gets done. So
Right,
if we have an MOU in place and say 6 months from now, they come up with something, they need to replace a piece of equipment, town says they'll do it, county this. Well, until we authorize the appropriation, nothing happens.
so my question is, what's the need for an MOU?
Well, you were at the meetings and you've been involved. I think the town feels more comfortable with the MOU than just leaving it wide open.
I think it was a dual if I may. So I think it was a dual conversation with regards to, at that time, thoughts of how the charter should be, the charter having referenced, and also an MOU with the understanding of financial obligations. But at that time, it was it was a very fixed number for charter and, and didn't matter horse before the cart or.
But in the end, until whatever the town agrees to, whatever the county agrees to, till the town actually appropriates the money or the county appropriates the money.
For that fiscal year.
Yeah. So I know that didn't answer you, but it did too. I think the town would feel better with an MOU.
Mhm.
I think Steve will, yeah, I haven't heard him say, but I think he would back me up on this, that yes, it's an agreement, but you fall back. And what I've been taught since January of 1992, one board does not obligate another one, period, no matter what you do. we've got certain debt in this county right now. We could have a change in this board and then the next budget, they could say, we're not appropriating money to pay debt service.
Right,
And you know what? Debt service doesn't get paid.
that's right.
I'm out.
So, well, I know, but have a heart attack. That's what our, remember Orange County way back? That's basically the situation they got into. But, I mean, I don't know if they feel like it'll build trust. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and even speak for them. But I know they wanted the MOU, but in the bottom line, until each group appropriates the funds, nothing's obligated. And maybe that's a question when y'all meet, y'all get together at the month of April, why do we need this?
That's action item where you need, we don't.
Whatever, however the board would like to move forward with regards to the information they have regarding
I think,
PSA town.
I think it,
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that, Linda DeVito, myself and, the county administrator schedule a meeting with, the town representatives and town manager to discuss the MOU for the PSA moving forward.
I'll second.
was the other members you probably, I didn't want to
Alright.
in front of me.
All right, on a motion to schedule a meeting with the town representatives for a discussion regarding an MOU between the town regarding the PSA with Ms. Cookenbook, Mr. Cox, and myself. Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes,
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Okay, I will get some dates and times and schedule a meeting.
Thank
You're welcome.
We're ready. With that, I'll take a motion to go into closed session or 2.2 3711 A6 and A8.
So moved.
Second. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Robert.
You got it.
All right, on the motion to go into close under 2.2 3711 A6. Discussion or consideration of investment public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, where if made public initially, the financial interest of the governmental unit would be adversely affected. And 2.2 3711 A8, consultation with legal counsel, employer retained by the public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel, both of which regarding workforce housing. Ms. Cookenbook.
Yeah.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yeah.
And Mr. Turner.
Yes.
I did.
All righty, back in session, I'll take a motion to come out of closed session.
Second.
Overall.
All right, on a motion to come out of closed session, Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips, Mr. Terman.
Yes. I'll take the motion certifying that we only discussed those things we in closed session for.
So moved.
Second.
All right, on the motion to certify under 2.23712D, only such business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened was heard. Mr. Booth.
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook.
Yes.
Mr. Cox.
Yes.
Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
And Mr. Terman.
Yes.
We are certified. Definitely.
I'll take any motion of anything that we may be able to vote on after coming out of closed session.
How do you need it worded exactly?
I believe it would be an approval of a memorandum of understanding between the county and the Economic Development, Authority. Development Authority, DH, not funding, no, with regards to workforce housing.
So moved. Second.
Great. Okay, on a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between the county and the Economic Development Authority with regards to workforce housing, Mr. Booth, Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Safe
Get some
travels.
rest.
Watch out for those
That
deers.
also includes all appropriate signatures, correct?
Yes.
That was part of it.
Right, sorry, I didn't say it.
So now we'll move back to board time. Somebody got anything?
I just note that my dumpsters down at Station 3 Rescue was a mess last few days, so, nails all through the parking lot, well, at least where the dumpsters are, so I threw a bunch of construction material off, so. Wonder if there's wonder if there's a way we could spray that or pressure wash that parking lot off, or just to try to get all that junk that's on the parking lot
I can look at it.
off of there.
Also
I don't
wondering
know
if we
if we
could put
could really
color-
capture it but
If
I mean, it was a mess. It was.
we could set
Had
cameras
a
up,
bunch of playground equipment and everything too.
we know the cameras work. On construction people, but
That's right.
we know if they work.
Well, we got
Sure do.
the corner of the building right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
New trail cams, the ones like Franklin Pike are
Yeah.
substantial, so, but we could definitely.
Those are permanent.
So, and I
but
think our maintenance is probably easily.
Yeah, I'll definitely have them go out and see what they can do. Absolutely.
Pressure wash, that's a great idea.
But yeah, somebody's gonna get some nails in the tire, but and then maybe too, I know we put them on the green boxes, we put the stickers that say surveillance cameras, but I don't think it would be a bad idea, maybe. Since we own the property, maybe when you pull in there or something, there's just signs that say surveillance cameras in use or
Mhm.
something.
Actually, they were here, two of the transfer station employees were here inquiring, Mark had ordered the stickers. You know, the
Okay.
warning and all that, so they were here to,
They ran out.
ran out, so.
It's not a lack of necessarily really enforcement, because the deputies sit quite frequently there for speed enforcement up against the dumpsters. So
Yeah, they do.
they're there, they're in the neighborhood, but people still doing it.
But absolutely, we'll get somebody up there, see how we can clean it up and maybe trail cam, just additional security. And when the stickers come in, they're ready.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it. I was a little tiffed by that this morning.
There's been three of yours,
I picked some up.
that one that you referenced, was it JJ's? What's his name? There's two other sites that are just getting demolished, and the three of us, random times, were together, just sit and try to rack our brains to keep them there because there's nowhere else to put them.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in those different, there's nowhere else. So it's been challenging.
That's all I have.
Yeah, she showed you the video I sent her the other day, bearing a green box. Let's see.
You did, but I didn't show
Oh, okay. I'm hoping
sorry.
we never put wheels on our green box.
Just got her in trouble.
In a video, this bear was trying to open the door and he couldn't get it to open. It started rolling with him. So he just had his hands, paws up on it. He's walking down the road, he pushed it. I told him, I said, take it home with you.
Exactly.
We not put wheels on any of our green boxes. But, from the Levi's point, I've seen up there Buffalo Mountain before they got moved out. I've picked up nails and boards around there, nails off in and everything. I wish we could get a good camera system where we could get all them construction people that's wanting to put them in there.
I picked up a nail in my tire just
Picked them up one by one.
a couple weeks ago.
I think my son-in-law picked up a couple too.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a little assist.
We may have to put them maggots on our garbage trucks so they got no food.
Um,
Yeah, I know it.
I have some.
Is he done?
I'm done.
Yeah, you can go first if you
Oh.
want. I'll go.
Oh.
third.
I was just gonna ask of, the Franklin Pike site. I know we hadn't had a lot of rain, but have we got more gravel in around down there yet?
Heading there?
Have we had more gravel put in on the Franklin Pike site?
Not since the last time they actually reworked it, when Cheryl went there and reworked
Yeah,
the
well,
whole
that
thing,
was-
just smoothed it out.
that was-
I don't, if you're,
He reworked it after. What I brought up was where the trucks going there, it keeps sinking,
mhm,
makes holes, and I
Yes.
experienced this. I got out, I thought, oh, that's just a little, and I stepped in it and went about that high up on my shoe. So I know the citizens are,
right.
so that's all been reworked and,
The last time that I know of is, yes, Cheryl reworked the whole thing and just almost graded it out to even it out.
okay.
And
looked good.
he redistributed, we had a lot of that pushed from the storms and things like that. and
Back
did that.
in there since you did the other ones.
Yeah, so I believe so. I've been there and I know that it represented better than it had, so, but I don't wanna
Well, I just,
overcommit.
Well, I was just there about a week ago and it was
It was
fun.
good.
Yeah, it was good.
okay. We just need to, as we do these sites. we've
Maintain.
Invested so much money in them that occasionally, I know they're all busy, but occasionally it wouldn't hurt for somebody to go around and review and, hey, we need to do this here or there.
Mhm. Okay.
I just want to remind everybody in the county that we are still under a burn ban and it is in effect until June 2nd. I believe it is June 2nd. And it is extremely dry. I know everybody saw the rain just the other day and, there's a very ferocious line of storms I'm looking at right now moving through Kentucky that's going to bring us some more rain. But it is still extremely dry out there. It's not going to take anything to start a fire, which could quickly get out of control. And not only is it open fires, but it's also if you smoke, do not throw your cigarette butts out the car window. Our county is in a very precarious situation. Most of the state of Virginia is in a severe drought. Neighbors to our north, to our south are in extreme drought. Portions of the mountains of North Carolina, which is kind of just a turnabout of unbelievable proportions since they were inundated with rain just a year ago. But I really can't emphasize it enough how important it is for everybody. And I know everybody's been doing really good. There haven't been a whole lot of reports of open burns, so thank you very much. That's kind of what I want to get at. Thank you for not doing the things. I mean, I've got a couple of piles I want to burn, but you just can't. It's just not safe. So I appreciate it. Most of you know that I do the weather. And, even though we get these little bits of rain, it's still not enough. And, I appreciate everybody's, adherence to the ban. And, thank you.
If I can add to that too, you know, burn barrels, but as warmer weather sets in, we're gonna start seeing more people, oh, let's go camping.
Right.
Campfires is a big no-no.
Right.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Until we get,
as soon as we get a rain, the next day the wind's up and it's done dried it out.
Yep.
I remember you talking about flipping your cigarettes out,
right,
and I thought it was a good idea at the time. We had a judge it was extremely dry that year. And, he said if we was behind a vehicle and they flipped out a cigarette lit,
right,
he wanted in charge for throwing an incendiary device from the motor vehicle.
wow.
You get hit for felony like that would
Yeah,
make
you
you
think
use your
twice.
ashtray up.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
which
Wow.
nobody was ever charged, but you know, I thought
That
yeah,
judge Will?
that's a good point.
is that Judge Will?
No, just her.
Oh, you do. Vehicles now don't even have ashtrays, do they?
No,
Thanks.
Well, cigarette lights, they, yeah, that's right. They got the spot for your thing to plug in, and the cigarette light, yeah.
but it don't take just a little, it just wind to
Yep.
drop that grass right
Yep.
there. It's ready to go.
I do have to say on that, I think Jenny's received a couple calls. There's been probably 3 or 4 emails that come into that. We have that info at
Mm-hmm.
Floyd Covert, and all related to like Kenai. So with between getting it out there, you know, pushing the communication, emergency management, fire, I mean, just all that heightened communication.
Right.
We've received a lot. This was the first time I really ever remember getting anything through emails, phone calls, straight up, just asking, am I allowed to do this? Can I burn in a barrel? No.
So
Am I
that's,
going
that's, a-
camping? No.
that's a good point, though. You know, if you have a question, call our offices. They'll be more than happy to answer those questions. So appreciate, and that even goes for non-gas barbecues, no charcoal barbecues. That's an open flame.
Yeah.
I don't know, I talked to Clark about mine, so.
You remind me of something. I had one citizen say they went, I'm assuming it's the county website. Anyway, it's still got Calinda listed as on the board.
That should be changed.
Yeah, that should be updated. When
When?
may I ask, was it recent or?
In the last couple of weeks.
Oh no, that it's been you better verify it.
Yeah.
It was on the agenda to be changed.
Okay.
So we'll make that happen.
Need to.
And the pictures
Yeah, the pictures changed.
changed.
Yeah, we need a new picture.
Yeah.
It's on there.
No, we need it.
Yeah. A little more centered to
Going to prison.
I'd like to remind everybody to keep, have a phone, their family, their prayers.
That's true. Yeah,
It says Walter Phillips.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
absolutely.
unless they're talking.
All righty, nothing else, we're going down to our county administrator.
Last Friday, we had, Mark and I sat down with RL Price, that's who's doing our renovations and construction here. They were super organized, super thorough. We are now part of, they have like a portal that, you know, you're on, you can go in there and see pictures and everything that they're doing to the day, to the hour. I mean, all the demo, all is represented in this portal that is just, it's pretty impressive. So we agreed to meet, we'll be meeting every week for the next 2 weeks, and then it will evaluate where they're at and what's needed from there. So we were able to interview 2 part-time EMTs, Dustin and I, and they're at a Virginia Tech. So we were excited, young, but they were eager, and hopefully we'll have 2 more. And I received 1 full-time application and another part-time application. So they'll go through the first orientation part, not orientation, excuse me, interviewing part at the station prior to the second interview. You can roll.
Open enrollment is May 1st through the 15th, and materials have been ordered, received, big boxes in my office right now. So we're ready to roll with the open enrollment for 2027.
Okay.
So, we had our first kind of like more formal, lots of informals, but formal, internal emergency management meeting, which consisted of Danny, Dustin, Jenny, and myself. Went through like an agenda and really, just worked through some processes on this, new alignment and communication and external and how we want to move forward, EOPs and right down to grants and funding and communication. And it was laid a good foundation, even stronger than it already is. And the future and how this is going is really exciting for the county itself, for the citizens, safety, heightened communication with fire, dispatch, sheriffs, and the willingness to participate is good stuff. Part of that conversation, I think Jerry and Joe heard a little bit of it yesterday, is we have that trailer that was purchased a while ago through CARES. So it was before ARPA. And
Yeah.
go ahead and finish
Yeah.
what we talked about.
So that trailer is a 28-foot long heated and cooled trailer. So that was not really being utilized like it could have been. So what we're planning on doing we got an excellent opportunity to get our call handling equipment for 911 upgraded through a grant. What we're envisioning is turning that trailer into a mobile call center basically, so that we can stand up 911 anywhere in that has cell phone service basically. So
It's great.
yeah, so that would also include making our 911 center more resilient and redundant than it ever has been. So
So
Yeah,
just it.
yeah.
And part of it would be like the front part, so this is how I said, okay, so this half is Danny's, this half will be Dustin's. So this will be out. So if in the event, let's say it's not gonna happen and we're not gonna need it, but referencing like the fire that we had,
Yeah.
bring that up there, becomes a mobile command where they can, that front part, and then the back part would be supplies and things. And if they had to sleep there, they had
Yeah.
like some shelter that would be appropriate, has lights, heat, AC. I mean, this is like the
So where will it be stored?
units in the garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Expected, unexpected.
Station
Yeah.
1,
Yes.
very good.
So that was exciting.
Yeah.
And I know I've mentioned this a couple times, but we had to go through it a little bit. First time for our county, the Victim Witness Grant, that has been accepted. So that is the grant that we were splitting with Radford, where we have the director of Victim Witness, Teresa McKenzie, who will July 1st be a Floyd County employee. This will be a solo grant in both entities, and it pretty much 100% pays for salary, benefits, taxes, and everything. So I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
All right. Well, most of the magic words.
I'll move that we adjourn.
All right, a motion to adjourn. Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Mr. Cox,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yep.
and Mr. Terman.